Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Rebecca. Today I'm sharing with you the process to create this layout I designed for Simple Stories using the new Color Vibe collections. I'm mixing in this layout the darks and the woods. Most of the products are from the darks, but I added pieces of the woods just to enhance the colors and let them be seen, like to differentiate them in the page, because this is not the colors that I usually use, so it was a challenge for me, but I had fun making this layout and I like how it turned out. I hope you like it too. On the left side, I'm cutting papers 1/4 of an inch bigger each time. The first one was 1/2 an inch, then 3/4 of an inch, and this last one is 1 inch. On the right side, I start with 3/4 of an inch, 1 inch, and the bigger one is 2 inches. Now that I have the sides ready, I'm going to work in the middle of the layout. I'm finding papers to mat the photos. I'm going to use a wood piece of paper and a purple piece, and I have that almost ready. I'm going to prepare the papers of the side. For that, I'm distressing the edges. I'm using a distress tool. If you don't have one, you can use a scissor. And I'm going to add them together, to assemble them together. I'm placing them in top one of another, just to be sure that they are straight. And I'm using my nails to bend the paper a little more and distress it a little more, so they look more distressed than they already look. This is a repetitive process, so I'm going to just show you how I made one of them. And now they are both ready. I'm matting the photos. First on the wood paper, and I'm cutting more pieces now of paper just to create the effect of layers there. As you can see, I'm not cutting full pieces of paper, I'm just cutting small pieces to give the look, but without wasting paper. Here I have a background from the woods paper. It was agreed, and I'm going to change it to another Color Vibe cardstock. This is the warm white. I'm using the dotted side. I love this texture. And I'm adding the papers that I cut previously there. Now I'm going to assemble them and look where I can add a little bit of texture using a stencil. This stencil is from the Simple Vintage Birdie Field collection, and the ink I'm using is a distress ink. I don't want another dark color, but I don't want the background to be so white, so I'm adding color there to continue with the theme of the Harry Potter colors and vibe in this page. The photos are from our last trip to the Universal Studios. We took our daughters there because the big one graduated from high school, and we took her there as her graduation gift. You can see how I'm adding the papers to the center of the layout using a T-ruler just to make sure they are straight. And I cut a banner out of this paper. It is not completely centered in the photo, but make some contrast there and connect the papers together. You can see that it looks like a lot of papers there, but they are just little pieces of paper. I want to add more ink. I'm arranging the stencil again to continue with the pattern, and I'm adding a few touches there, here and there. Now I'm adding pieces of the Simple Vintage Essential. I'm using 2 die cuts of this pack, the viewfinder and the film strip. I cut the film strip in half, and I'm adding them in the layout because the colors here match perfectly with the woods and that are neutral, and also with the darks. The fonts there are foam stickers. They are from the Woods Color Vibe. They are the hickory fonts. The banners are chipboards from the darks. I'm adding 3 of them on the bottom because the bottom is less busy, and I left 2 on top because there you have more the title, the viewfinder, and the stencil, so I'm leaving only 2 on the top just to balance the layout a little bit more. And I'm adding tone on tone stars on the banners. Now I'm going to embellish the layout a little bit more using flowers. As you can see, I arranged the flowers and the chipboard products to be sure that I can see everything and select what I want. I added 2 hearts near the night word, and I'm adding the flowers with buttons and the leaves there, just arranging them. And on the center, I'm going to use buttons. Here you can see how I add the flowers. I use liquid glue this time in between the flowers. And for the button, I'm adding a piece of crochet thread just to make some knot. And I hide the knot on the back. To add the button to the flower, I use glue dots. I'm repeating the process so you can see how I cover the holes in the buttons. Not too many flowers because these colors are very dark and I already have too much stuff there, so just a few flowers to add more detail and give it some more texture and dimension. Off camera, I added foam tape behind the leaves just to make them look with dimension there. Now I'm diluting a gray ink, acrylic paint, sorry, with water, and I'm using a brush to make some splatters, just a little bit of splatters, not too much. And I didn't notice that the camera stopped recording the process of adding the enamel dots, but I add a few enamel dots here and there. You can see them in the pictures that I'm going to show you now and the video. I hope you like this layout and it inspired you to craft. If this is the case, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more inspiration. If you want to know more about this layout and see more photos, visit my blog. The link is in the description box. Thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day and see you back soon. Bye.